So what is the last topic I have been told you yesterday? You tell me once. I think I have told you the relation between the gamma apparent and as well as of your gamma real, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. Keep a note and write a point number 1 better there. Note number 1. If coefficient of your real expansion is greater than coefficient of your glass, coefficient of real expansion is greater than the coefficient of your glass, then gamma apparent will be equal to your gamma of your real will be equal to your gamma of your real, gamma of your real minus gamma of your glass. That means this value will come out for me a positive value. So level of the liquid will rise or decrease in this one. Can you tell me? If real expansion is greater than the expansion of your glass, then gamma real is equals to gamma real is equals to gamma r minus gamma g. That means real expansion minus expansion of glass. Small g and capital G are one and the same beta. So don't take it as another condition right now. So right now, if I'm writing for the given condition, okay, so yeah. Okay, so if gamma r is greater than gamma g, then coefficient of apparent expansion is equals to real expansion minus glass. That will be positive. So for this one, if I'm writing a point right now, this one, level of liquid rises in this one. Now directly I can keep like this, it is increasing. So if gamma r is greater than gamma g, then coefficient of apparent expansion is equal to real expansion minus glass. That is positive. So therefore, the level of the liquid in this one will be increasing. Clear for everyone? Second point. If I am taking the relation right now, gamma real is lesser than gamma of your glass beta. Then what happens? You see, gamma apparent is equals to can anyone tell me what will be the relation? Gamma r minus gamma g will be negative, okay, so this will be your negative. If coefficient of real expansion is lesser than the coefficient of your glass, then gamma A is equals to gamma r minus gamma g, obviously. That will become for me negative. That means level of liquid in this one, if I'm writing with this one right now, level of liquid decreases. Level of liquid decreases. Is it visible, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Third point. If I am writing the relation right now, because these 3 points are already asked in the competitive examinations, beta. If gamma r is equals to your gamma g, if gamma r is equals to gamma g, r, if I'm taking the relation, gamma r is equals to, can you tell me what will be the gamma of glass beta, anyone? In terms of alpha, gamma r will become for me how much? 3 times of alpha of glass. Yesterday I told you. Gurtunda? Gamma of real is equals to relation between the gamma and alpha.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So if coefficient of real expansion is equal to coefficient of your glass, or gamma r is equals to 3 times of alpha of glass. That means in this condition, gamma apparent will become for me how much? 0. That means level of liquid, whatever you are taking in this one, will remain for me same. That means if I am writing with this pen right now, keep a star mark and write for this one. This one, what is happening is gamma A is equals to 0. Level of liquid level remains same, but volume of liquid, volume of liquid in container increases. Okay, so this is also a very important point you need to remember for the examination. So level of your liquid remains the same, but volume of your liquid in the container will be increasing. So I hope you have got the relation right now, everyone, beta. So I'll repeat you once again. You see in the thermal expansion of a liquid, if coefficient of real expansion is greater than the coefficient of your glass, then gamma apparent is equal to gamma r minus gamma glass, that is a positive. So level of the liquid in that one will be rising. If real expansion is lesser than of your glass, then gamma apparent will be negative. So level of the liquid will be decreasing. If gamma apparent is positive, level will increase. Gamma apparent is negative, that will be decreasing. If gamma real is equals to gamma glass, then that is the R, gamma R is equal to 3 times of alpha of glass. Then gamma apparent is equals to how much better? Gamma apparent is equals to 0. If gamma apparent is equal to 0, level remains the same, but volume of the liquid in the container, what happens? It increases. Clear for everyone? Is it clear, beta?
Yes, sir.
Next slide heading, beta. Condition for volume of empty space remains constant at all temperatures. Okay, so this is very important point, beta. Very important for the competitive examinations. What is that one? That is a condition for the volume of a empty space to be remaining always Fermi or constant at all temperatures. Okay, so what is the condition right now for this one? Condition for the volume of your empty space remaining constant at all the temperatures. Okay, let's see. If this is a container, what we have taken in the last class, okay, this is the initial volume. This is initial volume before expansion. Let us try to see. Okay, now see here. What you are writing? Condition for volume of empty space. Condition for the volume of empty space to remain constant at all temperatures part of relation. So if I'm writing the first point, if Vg is equals to volume of container, volume of your container, VL is equals to your volume of liquid, and gamma L is equals to coefficient of real expansion, coefficient of your real expansion of your liquid. So let us try to first understand the terminology. What do you mean by the Vg? V is nothing but what? Volume of the container. VL is your volume of your liquid in this one, and gamma L is nothing but coefficient of real expansion of your liquid, coefficient of your real expansion of your liquid part of a relation. So what I am trying to talk about, condition for the volume of the empty space remaining constant at all temperatures. If Vg is equals to volume of container, VL is equals to volume of liquid, and gamma L is the coefficient of real expansion of your liquid, then we can write from this relation right now, 3 times of alpha of your glass is equals to gamma of your glass, isn't it? This is nothing but what, beta? Coefficient of volume expansion of vessel, coefficient of volume expansion, of your vessel, isn't it? Now condition right now, you see, very important point. condition. Okay, coefficient of your volume expansion of your vessel. Condition for this one is right now, if I'm writing the condition, change in volume of your vessel must be equal to change in volume of your liquid, must be equal to change in volume of your liquid part of relation. I hope you're clear with this one. So this is really very important point to be remembered. So what is the given condition you see right now in this one? Change in volume, that means expansion of your vessel must be equal to the expansion of your liquid. That means gamma g of v gamma g into your right now volume of your glass into delta t must be equal to gamma of your liquid volume of your liquid into your delta t. Is anything getting cancelled in this one? You see beta, this delta t will get cancelled right now for me. Then what is the relation I'll be getting? Volume of liquid divided by volume of your glass must be equal to gamma of glass by gamma of your liquid. This is the important relation which we need to remember for the examination part of relation for the empty condition. Okay, so what is the condition for volume of empty space to remain constant? It means expansion in the vessel must be equal to expansion in the liquid. Ante kada, if the expansion of the vessel is exactly equal to expansion of the liquid, you can't see the expansions of that one given condition. That means volume of the liquid which is been present in the container will always remain constant. Like say if volume is increasing by 10 centimeter and volume of the liquid is decreasing by 10 centimeter, you can't see how much amount of the liquid has been expanded. So the condition what I'm writing for that one is gamma v of your, that means expansion of your vessel must be equal to expansion of your liquid. So delta v, how do we write? Gamma g into vg into delta t is equals to gamma of liquid volume of liquid into delta t. So vl by vg is equals to your gamma g by your gamma l. In this case the volume of the liquid will remain constant. In this case level of liquid increases. In this case volume of the liquid will be increasing. So condition for volume of the empty space remain constant at all the temperatures part of a relation. That means fraction of the liquid taken in the vessel such that the volume expansion space remain constant at all the temperatures part of relations. We are just talking about your volume expansions. I hope you are clear with this one better. So go through it once again. Condition for the volume expansion or volume of the empty space to be remain constant at all temperature is if volume of the glass is taken as of your volume of the Vg is taken as a volume of container, Vl is volume of liquid, gamma L is a coefficient of real expansion of your liquid, and 3 times of your relation. We already know this relation right now. Gamma G is equals to gamma of your glass is equals to 3 times of your alpha of G. Gamma is known as coefficient of your volume expansion. Alpha is known as coefficient of linear expansion. So coefficient of volume expansion of the vessel is equals to 3 times of the linear coefficient of the glass. Now what is the condition for the volume to be remain constant? Delta V. That means change in volume of the vessel must be equal to change in volume of the liquid. So if I'm writing both the formulas and simplifying it, we are getting volume of your liquid by volume of the glass must be equal to volume of glass divided by volume, sorry, gamma of glass divided by gamma of your liquid. Is it clear for everyone? Is this clear for everyone? అర్థమైందా మరోసారి చెప్పనా?
Yes, sir.
చలో, see this
Understood,
question
sir.
beta. If gamma of your mercury is equals to 180 into 10 to the power of minus 6 and alpha of your glass is equals to say for example this one is 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade, then fraction fraction of volume of mercury to be taken such that empty space remains same at all temperatures. At all temperature is. So this is the question. See the question right now, beta. If gamma of your glass is equals to 180 into 10 to the power of minus 6 and gamma of alpha of your glass is 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade, then fraction of the volume of the mercury be taken such that the empty space remains same at all temperatures. At all temperatures will be equal to your how much? What is the condition just now I told you, beta? Volume of your mercury divided by your volume of your glass must be equal to your gamma of your glass divided by gamma of your mercury. So that is equals to gamma of glass can be taken as 3 times of alpha of glass divided by gamma of your mercury. So that is equals to 3 into alpha of glass is given for me. Alpha of glass is 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by gamma of your mercury is 180 into 10 to the power of minus 6. This one is gone right now for me. If I simplify for the given condition, that comes out for me 27 divided by 180. 3 nines are 27, 27 divided by 180. So this will be approximately 3 by 20. 3 by 20 is approximately equal to 1 by 7. Approximately equal to 1 by 7. I hope you got this condition. See the question once again, beta. If gamma of mercury is equals to 180 into 10 to the power of minus 6 and gamma of glass is equals to 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade, then fraction of volume of the mercury to be taken such that the empty space remains same at all the temperatures will be equal to how much for me? 1 by 7. Is it clear for everyone? Is this question clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Let us try to go through. Is the board clear, beta? Is it visible or any words are getting overlap?
Clear, sir.
Chalo. So what is the condition for volume of the empty space to remain constant at all temperatures, beta? Volume of liquid by volume of glass must be equal to gamma of glass by gamma of your liquid. So try to remember that condition, so that will help you out for the exam. Clear for everyone? Chalo. Let us try to go for the next one now. Determination Okay. Next heading is right now for me. Determination of coefficient of your apparent expansion of liquid. Okay, determination of your coefficient of linear expansion of your liquid. Okay, determination of coefficient of apparent expansion of your liquid part of a relation. Chalo. The red pen will write in the bracket as, I'll write here right now, specific gravity bottle method. Specific gravity bottle method. So what is the next heading? Determination of coefficient of apparent expansion of liquid. So gamma A value with the help of your specific gravity bottle method part of relation. So we need to draw the diagram for this one. So let us try to use this pen. Okay, I'll use black pen only, so the diagram will become clear for me. Now see here. Here this one is your container. Okay. And in this container, there is a vessel like this, and it is filled with liquid in this one. Okay, and it is tied here right now with a thread, and it is kept on a stand like this. There is a stand, and to this stand, this one is connected right now here. Okay, and this is some stand right now here. Okay, and in this one we are using a thermometer right now here. I'll use another pen right now. Yeah, so we are using a thermometer by which we can measure the temperature. Okay, so this is the given condition, and in this one there is certain amount of liquid is also filled. Okay, see the question again. The heading says right now for me, determination of your coefficient of apparent expansion of liquid by the specific gravity bottle method. So let us try to give the first namings for this one. So M1 is nothing but mass of empty bottle plus cork. This is also fitted with your cork beta. This is also fitted with your certain cork like this. Okay, certain cork. So this one is your cork. This one is your thermometer. Okay, so what is M1 beta? Before filling the water in this one, M1 is nothing but mass of your empty bottle plus of your cork. Now next one part of relation if I'm writing. So next one is M2. M2 is equals to mass of M2 is equals to mass of your bottle plus we are filling it with a liquid at your T1 degrees centigrade. Mass of a bottle plus liquid at your T1 degrees centigrade. If I'm taking M2 minus of your M1, okay, I'm writing here M2 minus of your M1. Sorry, this is going somewhere. Yeah. So if I'm writing somewhere here right now, M2 minus of your M1. So that will be equal to how much beta? M2 minus of your M1 will be equal to your mass of your liquid at your T1 degrees centigrade. అంతే కదా, if I'm doing M2 minus M1, so mass of the bottle will get cancelled, only remaining is nothing but of your liquid at your T1 degree centigrade. So M2 minus M1 is nothing but mass of the liquid at your T1 degree centigrade. In this next point, boiling point of experimental liquid, whatever I'm taking beta, boiling point. Why this pen has become very thick, I don't know. Chalo. Boiling point of your experimental liquid should be more than boiling point of your glass, boiling point of your glass part of a liquid. So what I can say right now, boiling point of your experimental liquid should be more than of your boiling point of your water, more than boiling point of water. So I'm writing here with the red pen, you see. Boiling point of your experiment should be greater than boiling point of your water. Clear? This point you need to remember. Clear, beta? So see, once again, in the determination of the coefficient of apparent expansion of a liquid by your specific gravity bottle method, if m1 is the mass of the empty bottle, right now in this one we have taken a specific gravity bottle. Initially it is not filled with the water, it is kept in a beaker. In that beaker it is been filled with a water, and we are using a thermometer. To hold this, we are using a stand, and from the down we are supplying the heat for this one. You are supplying the heat for this one so that it will be heating. So the moment you are heating this one right now, this water will get heated up first, then afterwards the vessel will get heated up, and afterwards the liquid present in that one will be getting heated up part of relations. In the three cases, what will be the coefficient of your apparent expansion of your liquid point of relation? And whenever you're doing an experiment, make sure that boiling point of the experimental liquid should always be greater than the boiling point of your water, because we are taking the water in the what do you call the specific gravity bottle. This one is known as, this red pen dot is known as of your specific gravity bottle. Okay, chalo. So next point in this one is right now for me, we should be heated from, now water we are heating from your T1 degree centigrade to your T2 degree centigrade. Initially it was at what temperature, beta? T1. You are heating to a new temperature, that is nothing but of your T2 degree centigrade part of your relation right now. So heated to your T2 degree centigrade. After cooled to your T1, so what happened for the given condition right now? So now see, you have taken the liquid in this one, and you are increase the temperature from T1 to T2. You are increase the temperature from T1 to your T2. So certain amount of the liquid which have been present in that one might have been expanded particulation, and through this one, through the small hole in the cork, there is a small hole in the cork that might have been oozes out. That might have been oozes out. That means when it is coming out, we are taking a small tissue paper, and every time we are seeing that water will never fall into the liquid. So we are every time taking a tissue paper and trying to dry it with the tissue paper, so that the level with the liquid which is being taken from this one, when it is been overlapping or it is coming out from this cork, is not falling into the vessel. So with the help of a tissue paper, we'll be trying to, what do you call that one, what do you call that, we will be wiping it so that that water will not be entering into the vessel. So when you're heating from T1 to T2 degrees centigrade and cool it back to your T1 degrees centigrade, after cooling it back to T1 degrees centigrade, now the level of the liquid in the container will become like this for me. This is your cork, and the level of liquid will be only up to this one, because certain amount of the liquid has been oozes out now. Now after cooling it back, after heating to T2, again coming back to T1 degrees centigrade part of relation, now mass of the bottle plus mass of the remaining liquid will be equal to your how much? Can anyone tell me? Mass of bottle plus mass of remaining liquid will be equal to how much for me? M3. Mass of the bottle, the remaining same, but mass of the remaining liquid is changing. That is the reason I'm taking it as of your M3. So the next point, if I'm taking in this one right now here, M3 M3 minus M1 will be equal to mass of your remaining liquid, will be equal to your remaining liquid at your T1 degree centigrade. Okay, therefore repeating the same experiment again, repeating same experiment again and again, we'll be getting V1 is equals to volume is equals to how much beta? Mass by density. So here it is M3 minus M1 by your rho. At what temperature? At T1 degree centigrade. The same way V2. V2 is equals to M2 minus of your M1 divided by rho divided by your rho. This is the volume occupied by the liquid at T2 degree centigrade. I'll write with the black pen. This is volume. This is volume occupied by liquid at T2 degree centigrade. Okay. So what is a V1 beta? V1 is equals to your M3 minus M2 divided by rho at T1 degree centigrade, and V2 is equals to your M2 minus M2 minus M1 divided by rho. And this is the volume occupied at what temperature right now for me? T2 degree centigrade. So what is the coefficient of linear apparent expansion formula beta? Coefficient of, don't know why it has changing the, chalo. Coefficient of apparent expansion formula, gamma apparent is equals to V2 minus V1 divided by your V1 into delta T. So that will be equal to V2 value I got right now already, M2 minus M1 minus of M3 minus of your M1 divided by, this one is V1. V1 value is M3 minus of your M1 into T2 minus of your T1. So if I simplify this one, gamma apparent will be equal to your M2 minus of your M3, because this two will get cancelled right now here, divided by, this one is your M3 minus of your M1 into T2 minus T1 into T2 minus of T1. That means I can write in the wording for this one, mass of liquid expelled. M2 minus M1 is nothing but what for me? Mass of liquid expelled. Mass of liquid expelled divided by mass of remaining liquid. Mass of remaining liquid, mass of your remaining liquid into your temperature difference, This is very important formula to be remember for your competitive examinations beta. Gamma apparent is equals to M2 minus M3 divided by M3 minus M1 into T2 minus T1. M2 minus M3 is nothing but mass of liquid expelled, and M3 minus M1 is nothing but mass of remaining liquid into temperature difference part of relation. So that will be the value of the gamma apparent. So gamma apparent is equals to what I can write now? Gamma apparent is equals to expelled divided by remaining liquid into your delta T, will be your gamma apparent, So I can keep a star mark in this one and write one point for this given condition, that is volume of liquid expelled, volume of your liquid expelled is equals to your delta V of your expansion, that is nothing but V into gamma apparent into delta T. That means delta VR expansion is equal to your V into gamma apparent can be written as gamma real minus 3 times of alpha of glass into your delta T part of relation. Okay, So volume of the liquid, whatever we have expelled, that will be equal to your expelled is nothing but expansion only. Na? Delta V is equals to V into gamma A. Gamma A can be written as gamma R minus of your gamma of glass. Gamma of glass is written as 3 times of alpha of your glass into temperature difference. Let us try to go back once again, beta. It's very important relation for your competitive examination. See, determination of the coefficient of your apparent expansion of a liquid, if I'm talking about. In this one, we are talking about the specific gravity bottle method. This experiment is called as a what? Specific gravity bottle experiment. Now, what we have taken is, we have taken one bottle, this red line, this red bottle which I have drawn is called a specific gravity bottle. And there is a thermometer has been taken, and this bottle has been connected with your cork, and it is been attached or been supported with a wire to the stand. And you are giving the heat for the vessel. So when you're heating it, the vessel will get heated up, the water in that one will get heated up. Then the water which is present in the specific gravity will start heating. So when it is heating, the water in this one will get expanded, it will try to come out from the cork. And the water which is coming out from that cork is not made to fall into the vessel. So by the help of a tissue paper, the whatever the liquid is oozing out, we are trying to what do you call that one, clean it with the tissue paper. So in the initial condition, before filling the water in the specific gravity bottle, I'm giving the namings for that one. M1 is nothing but mass of your empty bottle plus of your cork. Okay, plus a cork bottle, cork plus empty vessel, your mass is given how much for me? M1. M2 is nothing. Then we are filling with the water with the specific gravity bottle. So mass of the bottle plus liquid at T1 degree centigrade is how much for me? M2. So M2 minus M1, if I'm writing, that is nothing but mass of liquid at what temperature? T1 degree centigrade. Am I audible, beta?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is the board clear, na?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I'm using tab to what do you call that one? Smart tab. So for writing, if it is comfortable, then we'll go for this one. Otherwise, I'll try to go on the board only. Okay. Chalo, anyhow. M2 is nothing but what? Mass of the bottle plus liquid at your T1 degree centigrade. Now, if I'm doing the difference of this one, beta, so try to do the difference of this one. M2 minus of your M1. M2 minus of your M1 will be equal to how much you see right now? This M2 minus of your M1 will nothing but equal to how much? So if I do M2 minus M1, mass of the empty bottle and mass of the empty bottle will get cancelled. So remaining will be what? Only the liquid. So mass of the liquid at T1 degree centigrade. So I'm writing M2 minus M1 is nothing but what for me? Mass of the liquid at your T1 degree centigrade. Now, what is another point we need to do in this given condition, beta? Boiling point of the experimental liquid should be greater than the boiling point of water. What is experimental liquid? This green liquid, whatever I have taken, that is an experimental liquid. And the liquid which is taken in the gravity bottle, that is your water. So boiling point of the experimental liquid should always be greater than the boiling point of water. So BP of your experimental must be greater than of your BP of your water. Now see here. After heating to the T2 degree centigrade, again I am trying to cool the same amount of water in the specific gravity bottle. I'm taking out of the vessel and trying to keep it outside. This is at what temperature right now? Right now at your T2. So heated from your T1 to T2 degree centigrade. So after cooling it right now, after cooling it, okay, after cooling it back to your T1 degree centigrade. So level of the liquid, what happened? It might have been reduced, because when you're heated, the liquid which has been present in the container what been oozed out from this hole right now, and that was been cleaned by the tissue paper. So certain amount of the liquid in this one has been lesser right now. So what is that liquid means? How do you write that one? Mass of the bottle is not going change. So mass of the bottle plus mass of remaining liquid I'm taking. So what is the mass of the remaining liquid right now? M3. This is nothing but of your M3. So mass of the bottle plus of your mass of your remaining liquid. So M3 minus M1 will be equal to how much for me? M3 minus of M1 will be equal to mass of the remaining liquid at what temperature? T1 degree centigrade, because we are trying to take back the bottle to again at the same temperature of T1. So repeating the same experiment again and again. So we'll be getting the relation volume V1 is equals to M3 minus M1 by rho 1, because I did only up to the T2 and T1 part. The same way V2 will be equal to how much right now? M2 minus M1 by your rho. That is my volume of the occupied by liquid at T2 degrees centigrade. So I got V1 and V2. So I know the formula for the coefficient of apparent expansion. So coefficient of apparent expansion is equal to how much for me? V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. So I got the value of V2. I got the value of V1. Substitute and simplify it. We'll be getting gamma A is equal to M2 minus M1 by M3 minus M1 into T2 minus T1. That is mass of liquid expelled divided by mass of remaining liquid into temperature difference. So gamma A is equal to expelled liquid by remaining into your delta T. So volume of the liquid expelled is equal to how much for me? Change delta V of your expansion. This is delta V of your expansion is equals to V into gamma A into delta T. Therefore, delta V of your expansion is equals to V into gamma R minus 3 times of alpha of your glass into delta T part of relation. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yeah, sir.
Chindanana?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Once again,
No, sir.
I'm getting your voice. Okay, so in the coefficient of your determination of your coefficient of your apparent expansion of your vessel, previously it was getting like this. I don't know why it has becoming right now like this. I'll just adjust it with that one. Chalo. Anyhow, so in the determination of the coefficient of apparent expansion of the liquid by specific gravity bottle method, what is the formula beta? Gamma IA is equals to expelled by remaining into your delta T. Expelled by remaining into delta T. Expelled into delta V gada. So delta V is equals to your V into your gamma apparent into your delta T. Or delta V is equals to V into gamma R minus 3 times of alpha of glass into your delta T part of relation. So let us try to do one problem based on this one beta. So this one is your question right now. Okay, take one small question better. See this one. A specific gravity bottle heated to 100 degrees centigrade. 100 degrees centigrade. Then 1% of liquid 1% of liquid expelled in the bracket completely filled with liquid find gamma A of liquid. Find gamma A of your liquid. Okay, so how do you write the gamma A beta? Gamma A is equals to expelled divided by remaining into temperature difference. Expelled is how much for me? 1%. Remaining is how much? 99. Temperature difference is 100. So that will become the answer for the given condition. Okay, now. Expelled is how much for me? 1%. That means 1 by 100. 1 by 100. Specific gravity bottle expelled to 100 degrees centigrade. Then 1% of the liquid completely, then 1% of a liquid expelled, completely filled with the liquid, isn't it? Then find the gamma A. Gamma A is equals to expelled by remaining. Expelled by remaining. If 1% is gone, remaining is how much for me? 99%. I'm writing in terms of percent. Temperature will be equal to how much for me? 100. So it is 1 by 100 into 1 by 99. That will be your answer for this one. Clear for everyone? Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you try to go through this topic better. With the remaining part, we'll try to do it in the next session of the class. Okay, let us try to do one more problem on this one better. Ikkada oka problem chesukundam chudandi. So if I take one more question in this one also. In the above problem, if 1% remaining liquid is expelled, then gamma A is equals to how much? Can anyone? In the above problem, if 1% of remaining liquid is expelled, then
90.
gamma A is equals to your how much?
99 by 100.
99 by 100, huh?
Yes, sir.
Sure. If in the above problem 1% of remaining liquid is been expelled, and the remaining is say for example X. Remaining is say for example X. So expelled will become how much? Expelled will become for me X by 100. So gamma apparent will become for me how much? Expelled is nothing but of your X by your 100 divided by X into 100. So that will become for me how much? X gets cancelled. 10 to the power of minus 4 per degree centigrade. The above problem, if 1% of the remaining liquid is expelled, then gamma A is how much? If remaining is expelled will become for me how much? X by 100. So gamma A is equals to expelled by remaining into 100. Isn't it? Simplified, x get cancelled, 10 to the power of -4 per degree centigrade. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. You try to revise today's topic of this one. We'll try to go for the next session, the expansion of your liquids, anomalous expansions of your liquid, then expansion of your gases also in the last section. One small topic has been left out in the liquids, that is anomalous expansion of a liquid particulation. Then we'll try to go for the expansion of your gases. Okay,
Sir,
beta? Yes,
Okay,
beta.
sir.
for formula of gamma A, it's expelled by what?
Expelled
What's
by
the-
remaining liquid into delta T.
Okay.
Okay, I derived here, no? You see here, gamma A is equals to mass of liquid expelled by mass of your remaining liquid into temperature difference. Are you able to see in the screenshot?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Gamma A is equals to expelled divided by remaining into your delta T. Okay, just give me a minute.
సార్ అట్లాగే ఎగ్జామ్ సిలబస్ కూడా అనౌన్స్ చేయండి సార్ సండే.
The remaining part we'll try to do it in tomorrow session of class. Okay.
సార్ అదే సార్ డేటా తీసుకున్నాను సార్ ముందు చేసేయండి సార్ ఓకే
సార్ ఆసిఫ్ సార్. సరే స్టూడెంట్స్, 9:15 the mass class will start. Take 10 minutes break.